and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thanks everyone for joining tonight. As we all heard, meetings are recorded. A couple housekeeping topics. If there is any personal conversation, please take that outside of chambers so we do not disrupt the meeting. And we do have twice in the evening where we will open it up for public comment. When we do open it up, if you have any comments, please come to the podium and state your name for the record. That being said, we'll go ahead and jump on in. So we do have a quorum. However, I do have two members who are out. I will need a motion to excuse both Tawny and Jamie tonight.
I'll make a motion, we excuse Tommy and Jamie.
I'll second that.
Been moved by Eric and seconded by Kathy. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Perfect, they are excused. I will jump right down. Do we have any other business items tonight that need to be added? No. All right. With that, we will jump down and I would entertain a motion for approval of the consent agenda.
I'll make a motion that we approve the consent agenda.
Can I get a second?
I'll second that.
Moved by Rebecca and seconded by Kathy. Any discussion on those? Oh, all right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. So down to department reports. I don't believe Chief was able to make it tonight, so Rachel, do you have?
Yeah, he just said he'd be here as
Oh.
soon as he could, but he's at a stop, so I told him I should just give his report. So we had a total of 35 calls this month. I won't go through all of them, but it brings us to a total of 328 calls a year. Are there any questions that I can pass on to PD?
Did we had less this month than last month, right?
It's about when it runs right there.
I was gonna say, I think so, but.
Yeah, we're down an officer. I know he's got two that he's looking at, but
Okay. Does anybody have any questions for PD? All right. So we'll jump to City Hall.
ooh, I didn't do one this month. We are just working on the budget, getting Caitlin trained. She's doing really well. That's it, really.
Anything on this that you wanted to point out on the? No?
Nope, yeah, those are just for you guys.
A lot of downsides.
Yeah, we're doing a public hearing, next
Meeting.
meeting
Two of them.
for our preliminary budget. We've got one tonight for revenue. And our comp plan, we're having a public hearing on 12/15, and there's our PD. Hey.
We might already jumped the gun and ran your numbers.
That's okay. I went over your numbers. I don't know if you have anything else you want to.
Anybody else have any questions? I can never hear. Bad luck at the draw.
Sorry.
I just miss seeing you that
Yeah.
way.
Yeah,
No?
he comes and sees us during the week.
I know, not when I'm not there. He just doesn't like me that way.
Yeah, no.
You guys have any-
Thanks,
You
Chief.
too,
Have a
bye.
good night.
All right, so any questions for City Hall? All right, down to Public Works. I know we did not get a report. I know John's been helping out a lot with the budget, and they are doing some leak detection work right now. So, that's pretty much where we're at with that. I know we're trying to pinpoint some issues that we're having, or areas we're having issues with, so hopefully we'll have a good report for the next meeting. Does anybody have anything specific for Public Works they have questions on? Go ahead and jump down to council reports. Rachel kind of already covered it. We do have public hearings at the next council meeting, so budget will be one of those to jump into. So if anybody wants to be here for those public hearings, that would be wonderful. Other than that, that is all I have. We will. Eric, do you have anything?
Just some budget spreadsheet work.
Yeah, just going through the workshops and the comp plan. That's it.
I'm good.
And then committee reports. Anybody want to report on planning?
Steve Birch, I'm your chair of your planning commission. And currently we are working on a document presented to us, which I think is 12 pages long,
Which one?
I believe so.
Which one?
The sign working.
Yeah.
was brought to our attention that our current code is rather vague. And so the planner Todd presented us with a document that is the current Calamus sign ordinance. So everybody took that home and we're going through it to see if we need to regulate that much. But to go through items we think that need to be included so that we don't have issues in the future and that the standards are clear. Any other question?
I have some more documents coming out for you too. I know Cindy provided one. I just have to get them to you. So I'll have some stuff out to you this week.
Do me a favor.
No more documents.
Yeah.
Send it to my address on this case, because I just got a brand new computer. Windows 11 is teaching me that I don't know very much.
Right there with you.
Thanks.
Thank you. And then I don't see anyone from Park Board tonight. Go ahead. So next up on the item or on the agenda is the public hearing on our revenue. So we'll go ahead and open the public hearing at 6:06.
Yeah.
Right. I know we've all kind of hashed out the revenue side. I don't know if anybody has any questions on the revenue that we've got proposed for the 2026.
Want to talk about anything we were talking about or
I mean,
trying to hold firm on not raising the city's
tax.
property
Property
tax again for the 4th year in a row, not raising it. Try to figure a solution out on water, sewer rates.
Yeah, our goal definitely is not to punish any of the citizens. We do know that a lot of our citizens are older, they're in their senior years, and money gets tight. So we're trying to do everything we can to help them as well as to not put a burden on the citizens. Times are not great right now, so anything that we can do that isn't detrimental to the city is kind of our goal. So we don't want to tax people out of their houses, and we want them to be able to continue to survive.
That's the state's job.
Otherwise, we just get to sit there to quiet time.
Yeah, so is that the idea for property taxes is a no-go this year, right? Okay, I'll have it ready for the next
Yeah,
meeting.
because we saw an increase, we're seeing a slight increase in revenue because we're up, 10 homes in the city. And then, in hopes that over the next couple of years, we're gonna have a bigger base with Kellis Meadows, which should hopefully be able to
Offset, I mean.
bring the additional revenue we need.
Perfect. We'll have the public hearing on that next meeting and then we can finish the ordinance.
So this is on revenue, but
Mhm.
Yeah, because we had to have one on revenue and then we'll have 2 more on the budget and we're done. Yep.
we really don't have a whole lot of changes in revenue. then.
No.
Yeah.
Hopefully next year.
With inflation times, if you can hold steady, that's an increase, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Sorry.
6:06.
Almost done.
She's got it.
Okay, you're good.
And
6:09.
6:09, we will end the public hearing. So that will, no. sorry. We'll bring that down into special presentation, which we have this evening. Is there any public comment on our agenda items?
I will. I just wanted to give a brief comment on the ILA, just for you to just be mindful in section 6, it creates a little of extra work for you where anything in the UGA, you have to kind of do email tag with the county about.
Okay,
It's just something to be aware of.
perfect. Thanks, Cass.
Any other comments before we move on? All right. So we will go ahead and jump down into new business. First item up is the Chehalis Tribal Jail contract, and I would entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion that we accept the Chehalis Tribal Jail Service Agreement. I'll second that.
Been moved by Rebecca and seconded by Kathy. Is there any discussion on this agreement?
Only that it does say in that first paragraph that it is the federally recognized Indian tribe here and after referred to as Chehalis, but I know when I read through it, I read Chehalis, I think it's the city of Chehalis and it's the Chehalis tribe.
Correct, it's out in Elma.
Okay.
I did run this by chief also, and he said that
Yes,
he's completely good with it, so. And if you'd like to do a walkthrough of it, you are welcome as well.
A good job.
Okay.
This does save us quite a bit of money, so.
Yeah. Anybody else have anything? All right, I will go ahead and call for the vote. All those in favor? Opposed? Nope, motion carries.
You know how many beds you guys are paying for there?
We don't pay for them unless we use them,
Okay.
yeah. Which we're using about 2 to 3 beds a month right now for several nights. So we're paying quite a bit, because it's like $138 a night at Lewis County,
We had a multi-week run a couple months ago, which is
right?
expensive.
Yes, it was. So next up is the water leak request for the Gordons. And it would, we've got all the documentation. They'd entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion that we accept the Gordon water leak reduction for a total of. Is that 100? No,
380.
380.
Yeah.
That's it.
I'll second that.
Been moved by Eric and seconded by Rebecca. Is there any discussion?
I did notice it was a pretty substantial repair cost of
Yeah.
$2,500. So something was wrong.
Yeah, it was a couple months in a row, it looked like he had issues.
And I know these numbers seem like they're a lot higher on forgiveness, but that's because the water's not free anymore.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and we did, I know this had been tabled prior, just because we didn't have all of the information, but they were able to get everything out to us, so. Okay. Did you have a question, Jim?
What's the city's maximum water pressure supposed to be?
That would be a John question.
Yeah, that would be a John question, I'm not sure,
What?
John Cravens. He would be the one to answer that, I don't have him here this evening, but we can find out for sure.
Thanks, Dan.
Thanks.
fantastic position number 2.
Yeah.
All right, so if there's no discussion on this, I'll go ahead and call for the vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion carries. Down into unfinished business, which is the Lewis County ILA for the UGA areas. I would entertain a motion for that.
I'll make a motion to accept the ILA with Lewis County for name of it. For the interlocal for voting on with incorporated urban growth areas.
I'll second that.
Been moved by Eric and seconded by Rebecca, and I know we do have the expert here on that, if anybody has any questions.
Yeah. I was wondering if I could get Kyle to expound just a little bit, if you don't mind, on section 6, so we make sure we get it right.
Yes, it's just basically with the UGA, the county's kind of still keeping control of parts of it. And I was just making sure that Rachel's mindful in those situations, she has to play some kind of email back and forth. You know, it creates a little bit of extra work, but at the same time, we get to offload some of that work to the county.
Thanks.
Looking at that 4 leaves. Have you heard of them? Vader uses them. Code stuff.
Yeah, I gotcha. Did anybody else have any questions before I asked Todd? Would you like to elaborate at all on this?
I mainly here to answer questions. This, we have considered this in the past and we gave up because it was too complicated and covered too many things. This one is a much simpler version. There are some corrections in here that I believe need to be made. You know, they're referencing some of our code sections that aren't applicable. When we talked to Mindy Brooks at the county about that, she said, well, it's okay because it says as amended. We are also, as you know, proposing to amend our land development code, so we ourselves are making a bunch of changes. But in here, I'm just unclear. It looks like they're delegating Title 8 of their code and then just saying that our code then applies, but without saying the section. So I think it should be fine. Other than that, like I said, it's a very simpler ILA than was before. This does not address the urban reserve areas. So we have very little land in our urban growth area that's left. So this applies to only a handful of parcels, really. We are also going to be seeking an ILA with the county that's separate from this one, that addresses how they apply our zones within that urban reserve area and how we work together for that. I'm suspecting it'll be patterned similar to this one, but that'll come back before you. I just wanted to be clear that this doesn't apply to that urban reserve area, although we will be asking you all to designate zoning there. We really don't have authority to do that, so it's kind of meaningless until we get that second ILA with Lewis County.
But so just to clarify, when the urban reserve, when we get to that point in whatever, 1 to 3 years or whatever, then this will immediately take effect on that? Once it moves into our UGA?
Once it moves into your UGA, then this ILA would apply. But until then, I think what we want to do is just make sure that any development that happens out there is either consistent with the city plan, or that, I mean, right now the county's got a holding zone. That's what that urban reserve area does. It puts everything into a large tract development pattern, so you can't really parcelize it below anything. So I think we're protected as it stands, but I think a little bit more might be needed to just make sure that if they do process applications in that urban reserve area, that we have something to address that too. But other than that, the fees in here seems very fair. I mean, if the county processes the application, they keep the fees. If the city processes the application, then we keep the fees. If it's undecided as to who shares what responsibility, then Rachel coordinates with the county and figures it out from there. So it seems to be pretty straightforward.
It's a lot easier to read.
Yes, it
A
is.
lot easier to digest, and I continue to believe this is a good deal for the city, especially this, now that they've simplified it and taken out all the things that we objected to before. Gives you some control over your urban growth area, which the county does not have to do. So it's kind of a nice gesture on their part.
And that's that meeting tomorrow at 9:30, right? With Mindy?
That is tomorrow. I don't have a meeting with Mindy tomorrow at 9:30. I have a meeting on our comp plan tomorrow. No, tomorrow's Tuesday. I have a comp plan meeting Wednesday.
I saw something come in from Mindy at 9:30. I'll talk to you after.
Okay, yeah, please do. And if there are any questions, I'm here to answer them, but to me, this looked like a good draft.
Thank you.
Thank you, Doc.
Did anybody have any further questions before I call for the vote? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We will jump down into the other business. First up is the fire district impact fees, and I would entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion that we accept the fire district impact fees.
Can I get a second?
I'll second.
It was moved by Rebecca and seconded by Kathy, and we'll go and open it up for discussion.
I like that their final number came down considerably from what they first showed us a year or so ago, or a year or less ago.
It's still the largest, if I'm reading that $5,004, it's still the largest impact fee.
No, it's not anymore. It's 1652.61 now.
Oh, so, oh, geez.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's come down considerably from what they first.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
May I speak to that?
Yes.
more than fine.
The chief came in to planning commission and we went over this, essentially the dollar amounts have not changed. It's the way that they spread them as they consolidated, a number of areas that had previously been separated out. And they used a growth, percentage of 8.4% rather than the 2% that they had originally. And with those growth figures and consolidation into smaller areas, it was able to reduce the price. When you go from 2% to 8% growth, you know, you
Spreads it out.
spread it out quite a bit.
And specifically in the, commercial and the government, which were suffering from denominator problems.
They were combined, and then
Yeah.
the 8% growth also really affected the single family dwellings, which was the planning commission's major concern.
Yeah.
And I brought that down from like $4 to $1.21. So I'm sorry the chief's not here to tell you all that, but planning commission was very relieved with the new schedule, and will be too.
Yeah, I definitely, when I saw these numbers, I was like, that's a lot, that looks a whole lot nicer.
So Steve, since you know more about this, this ADU thing, and I'm wondering if Rachel might also know, is that consistent with the state's requirement that we support the +2 ADU thing, that you charge an impact fee on ADUs? Yeah.
Wow.
Get a tag in?
No.
Tag, yeah. So the state does limit the impact fees that you can charge on an ADU to 50% of the base. But that's done applied at a city level. In order to implement these impact fees, you'll have to adopt by ordinance you have to adopt by ordinance the impact fee, but then you'll also have to enter into an agreement with the fire district because they're not part of the city. So you'll have to enter into some form of interlocal agreement with them that establishes for how they're collected and how they're transferred and paid and all that. And in there, we can work out the final details that addresses the state nuances on how we collect and assess impact fees.
Got most of those done already, the ILA and the ordinance. I'm just waiting on the final details. We figured January would be best to get those in, so we'll let you know ahead of time. And
Happy to provide any input into
Yeah.
that you'd like me to, but.
yeah, definitely.
But so this does not reflect that, but we can
Right.
work that into the details.
It does say 50% of primary in parentheses after the ADU.
Yeah.
Then
Yeah.
square foot.
Yeah, and that's,
He's saying this isn't just this vote right now isn't
Oh,
adopting
oh.
these impact fees. It's gotta, there's still some steps
Gotcha.
that have to take place.
so yeah, it looks like maybe they have addressed that because that is consistent with the state is 50% of the primary. But it's actually 50% of a single family dwelling as well, which is the primary for this case. It's same thing, just the difference of words.
Okay, thank you.
And for this, the definition of multifamily, is that in excess of a duplex, or is that a duplex and above?
I don't know how they defined it. I know how we define it. It's defined in our new zoning code and in
And that's
our old zoning code, and it is anything more than, I think we have duplexes and triplexes, so it's anything more than a triplex, so a quad would be a
Great.
multifamily.
Great. Just trying to protect our ability to have duplexes. Without it being
I don't know.
far
if
less
there's
or far more.
specific how they would assess that.
It kind of, well, it says based on the dwelling instead of square feet, so that looks flat fee to me.
Yeah, it does say that, anything other than single family to them is multifamily, but to us. So we want to be sure we work that out in both the ILA and in the ordinance where we adopt how to collect those.
Okay.
And any other details that council wants to hit on, we want to make sure that those are in those documents, because this is what establishes them. It's the math that they did to come up with what the cost is. We'll adopt this as part of our comprehensive plan by reference, so that way, it will be one of the city's identified capital facilities, and that allows them by state law to be eligible for impact fees. So we'll do that, and we'll also adopt the school district's capital facilities plan. Rachel has a copy of that, but they are not asking for impact fees, so we'll just adopt their plan, so in the future they do want to ask for those, then they can come to council and ask for that.
So the other kind of part of the other reason is if you do the math on that average single family of 1876, that comes out to $2,725. So we also don't want developers to only want to put triplexes in and do quadplexes. Then we have a glut of quadplexes to save $1,000.
And,
each.
and state law with the new state law requirements, they are actually, encouraging cities. And even in some cases requiring cities to make concessions in impact fees and connection charges for multifamily development so that we can get more density within our urban growth areas, so. That would be consistent with that, so we can work on that when we put together the language that Rachel's.
Yeah.
Perfect, thank you. And there, anybody else have any questions? Or call for the vote? All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Next up is the drainage issue on Maple Street and South Sixth, and now everybody's got the documentation on that. I would entertain a motion on that.
What's the motion for? What are you asking?
Just to approve as proposed. So that we can discuss further.
I'll make a motion that we approve the biofiltration swale under rain detail on Maple Street and Sixth.
We're providing a swale there based on those, sill designs, but where does that swale go to? Since
That-
we have no storm drain.
That, I think they're putting it over.
We need a
towards-
second before we can
Yeah,
discuss
yeah.
it. Anybody want a
I mean,
second?
if we're not gonna like motion to approve something, we don't have to have a motion to.
Yeah, this
discuss.
doesn't really need a
Okay.
motion. This is just what they're doing to fix the issue. Cause I know a couple people have pointed it out. I've driven by there, I've seen
Okay.
it. So it's just, it's an issue. We're aware it's an issue.
Say you withdraw your motion.
Yeah.
What's that?
You wanna say you withdraw your?
Oh, I
motion?
withdraw my motion.
So does anybody have issues with the plan that they have in place right now to fix the drainage issue there?
Is it gonna fix it?
Yeah,
Certainly should.
if it doesn't, they'll figure something else out, but it should. It's engineered plans.
Mhm.
Okay. Dan, have you seen this?
You want a copy of it? And I know I had gone out and spoke with them as well when it was an issue, and it was one of those things where I'm like, hey, this is something that needs to be addressed. We can't have this puddling here. It's gonna it's gonna degrade the roads. It's gonna be a huge issue with the flooding down there. And that was, they said that Randy had said that that's something he's come across before. This was the fix that took care of it. So we did, he said, can we just do regular drawings? Because they had to be engineered, they have to be approved. So I just didn't know if anybody's got any.
Did you have a question?
There's some questions out there. This work product is available on the website. So if you
Yeah.
were wanting to, if that's what you're asking is to get a copy.
Yeah, it's something that we should be able to do with our own work.
Looks good, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, that's good.
Nobody.
So do we have a drain, somewhere near there that they're gonna be able to connect to? I thought they were supposed to have done that.
There is a storm. They did all that for inside the houses
Development,
and outside the houses, but that's the water that comes down from,
South Sixth.
Yeah,
yeah, and so it's just pulling up and it's just not,
So they're
there,
going-
it won't catch it all. There,
Yeah.
it's just not
So
gonna.
they're gonna redirect.
and so what are they gonna do here on?
They're gonna cut in a
They're gonna-
planter
Great.
Yep.
That's what they're supposed to do anyway, right?
on the other side.
Okay,
Yeah, but this was all brought to their attention as soon as it started, and there were talks back and forth on the best way to rectify that problem.
Yeah, those planters should have gone on the other side. It looks really good, but it just made it to where there's more water that pulls up on the outside.
And did Randy say when they would?
They're starting.
They're, okay,
great.
perfect. Okay. Okay, no questions, no comments on that one? All right, so we will drop down to, public input.
Pat Wheeler. If your executive session is about Rachel, 5 stars.
Thanks, Al.
There is no public input. We will go ahead and go into We have the executive session up next.
Yeah, it's 6:30, so the council will now meet in executive session to discuss employee performance. As allowed by RCW 42.30.110(1)(g). The council will be in executive session until, we'll call it 6:45. The council is not expected to take further action.
And we're not gonna kick you all out into the rain like you said.
Oh, that looks dangerous.
I'll call you tomorrow. I did see something come in from Indy and I thought it was on the ILA. Yeah, but I'll call you in the morning. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll do that, because I'll probably forget.
How you been? Good.
Wow, years. I mean,
Haven't seen you around.
You're alive.
Yeah, every once in a while, Rachel shoots me an email with a question about something you're after, and other than that, really haven't seen too much of it, so. Well, the stormwater, not so much me, but the ILA, I have been helping them out with that, and, we're working on the big comp plan too, so. Always good, and we gave some feedback from planning commission on comp plan, so we presented that to them. They opted to not include what you were requesting, mainly because the property owner didn't start anything else. But,
Normally we are
considered and council will be considering that on December 13th too, so if you submit additional testimony or things like that.
Just because it was put up on the website today, so.
Yeah, so like, you've got some time, council will hear that on December 15th, and hopefully be able to make a decision by then, but if not.
Yeah.
Once we've had the initial reading of the public hearing, it can't go on as long as the council thinks they were supposed to have it done by the end of the year, but if it doesn't happen, we'll be okay.
Yeah.
We'll get it done.
Friends in Southern California.
Thanks for your input on things. See you later, good night.
People are staying away. People are staying away. Even our regular customers.
Yeah. I was just, I haven't read about 100 people still, that's nasty.
We had 2 vendors. I need to go somewhere else.
Cause I found a
Yeah.
Facebook profile, but I'm not sure. It's like-
That's, they don't, they got. They go back
And I haven't really wanted to. I couldn't from that avenue.
couldn't replace them.
I might not have.
There's not even be built in here.
Yeah.
At least, yeah.
That
that's
would
what
have
you-
to
that you
be
market
marketed.
on, I mentioned.
That would be for the utility.
There's that level of.
Because your vendor.
Yeah.
So
Despite the fact.
we'll be doing.
Well, and just the level of like hurting sort of to begin with, looking for new drivers, all that level of.
Things like that. I mean, it might get, you know, it's.
Thought it was.
We're going to our last day.
Then it's done for the season.
Yeah.
Usually.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, we're.
we only had 10 members early, I can tell that our response.
Part of it is our numbers are running out.
Oh, I died.
Okay.
There's,
And
I think there's, here you are, finally.
I think this is a very logical time to start.
Oh, I got told.
Because those who are our craft people are showing
Well-
over 15 people.
They're always professional.
Yeah, anyway. So we're going to get them up, so they're not scrambling.
This is.
So there's actually a peak from the car.
Right. Normally have the off season.
And I know they're trying to sell it, but I think they're
Yeah.
going at the year.
Yeah, I mean, this is not a,
Well, this is.
we can't throw you around.
Is that the rest of your night?
Sure, well, I mean, you still have. Vendors and things like that, but.
Yes.
But I understand the
Yeah.
holiday.
But
We do for them on other fronts.
having gone through it, there's several.
Order.
Growers really need the time. Rebuild.
I had a whole spiel
So they're
with
not
that,
folded,
if you,
mutilated anymore, get their stuff started. It's a whole spiel, it's.
Yeah.
Get ready for the next season.
Right.
Okay.
And so it.
I even wrote it down.
That.
Yeah, sure.
God, I know Baker does, and, so, you know, it's just.
Will you continue to do your own thing with winter?
Yeah, I just we just got back from Canada and bought a trailer full of stuff for raised beds, but within an actual garden finally. With a big ass fence around it. To keep freaking baby out of it.
Yeah, we have ours, fenced in as well.
I'm still over those things.
We had 3 of them hanging out at the end of our driveway, just trying to get
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, they're like, hey, what's going on?
And they're like, oh, we're gonna go this way, no, we're gonna go this way.
Yeah, look at you like, oh, we got any carrots or anything?
Yeah.
Just,
I tried shooting one pellet gun. But
oh,
Just
nothing.
oh, they have lunch when they go. Really? That's all you got?
like I don't know if you can see it, but they're driving.
Oh, yeah. I have seriously considered getting, a paintball gun. As have several of my girlfriends in the neighborhood. And we're gonna get all different
Colors.
colors.
Do we have a competition of who can color the deer the most?
I don't know.
Migratory pattern.
And there's a herd, there's up to 18 now.
Oh, at least there's.
This is hanging out around your farm.
Yeah,
As y'all are down by the river.
so right down by the river. So they come through, they can get across the river.
Did I have a natural predators down there?
We used to have a cougar and it's moved on. It's been a couple of years since
And
we.
coyotes don't really come down there anymore because everybody's got dogs.
Guys,
Yeah, coyotes.
yeah,
I heard them the other night, though. I did hear them screaming the other night, but,
When we had our big dog, he would keep them more at bay, but.
you know, we're kind of on a peninsula as it is. It seems like a peninsula because the hayfield's on one side and the river's on the other. And the deer come down there and they go right across to the island. We've got this big island in the middle of the river. They have their babies over there, they hide over there.
Huh?
And then in the morning, they swim all across and
They figured it
It's
out.
dinner.
come back across and eat my stuff.
Right, they figured it out, man.
Well, and
Oh, yeah.
just for the longest time, if we've done the fruit tree, could throw everything out. Okay, you guys can have this, but now that there's so many of them. They've eaten my lilacs and my forsythia and my big torches.
Just thought I'd let you know that. Rachel didn't pause the recording.
Yeah, they gotta go. So I'm not putting a seed in the.
Rousing conversation
About deer.
or beach center city conversation.
It's gonna be, yeah, by next week, Toledo's being all deer.
Peter's gonna be.
All over it.
Gonna be here. Hey, and then they get spotted and they'll be running around, so it goes up to about half the people in the neighborhood, they'd be hanging in a fridge. Right. Exactly. And there's only one, we've got a piebald, just white, with, I think it's. Oh, interesting.
And they don't normally survive because they're white and they show up and the predators get them, but he's 2 years old now, just having a good old time.
Everybody has agreed, okay, that one's off limits.
They stopped at my house last week, that they'd seen a buck in the pasture over. And she wanted to know if they could go after it. And I was like, no, somebody else's, it's like a landowner's land and they don't allow trespassing on it, but it was interesting that.
I
they
had-
asked.
I had several people ask about. No, it's a.
Well, hunting licenses are so prohibited, I know.
Well, I.
And plus, why we hang on
They
this
think
60
they're not
pound
allowed
deer?
to hunt those then.
You know, why was the tag on a 60-pound deer?
Yeah, exactly.
We're gonna have to encourage them to
Go on.
go hunting.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you could actually get a depredation from reading your stuff, but who wants to do
Get a
that?
special permitting for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you say they're eating your forsythia?
But your apples, maybe.
Yeah, those are gonna be that fence there.
Yeah,
It's the raccoons that climbed over the 8-foot fence and stripped his Asian pear tree again this year.
Unbelievable.
Tree was full of pears. She's like, okay, I'm going out tomorrow. Comes out for nothing.
Little light yellow skin that you get.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What's the worst is when they take just a bite and then they eat everything. Like, come on, let's eat the whole thing.
Take a
They didn't
few,
do that. They took every apple on the tree, nothing on the
Stripped
ground,
it.
on a tree.
Little bits of
Little
grape.
grape fur in the tree.
Wow.
See, that's the only thing that makes me
They
mad,
didn't-
if they eat
Mark
my,
out, did they?
my vegetables. When they eat my flowers, I'm like, that's cost of living here.
Yeah.
As long as it's not a trespasser, I don't care.
Yeah.
We had,
It's on 4 legs, it's one thing, it's on 2, it's another.
exactly.
There's some really bold people around
Years
too.
ago.
I started posting all of our
Like,
road hunters and stuff coming down. It's like, by the time you get to my house,
take down
you
trees,
passed
trees.
5 no hunting, no trespassing signs. So by the time you get to my place, you're on a 4K camera.
Across the yard.
So I'm posting them on Facebook.
Heaps.
I would do it.
Down into the river. And see what honeycombs are, you need to see what your trees look like.
They were made to do a dam.
It was a pear tree that he's been ending for 4 years. And an antique apple tree that I planted. They're both about this big around, sort of 4 point feet.
And the nice thing about it though is they actually survived. They set out
Oh.
4 leaders from each side. It was like somebody had trimmed it perfectly. And the Spitzenberg hex tree was full of apple this year, but the deer got in there. And then, I actually got a few pears off the pear tree.
Unelectrify that fence.
I have a jalapeno plant that I bought when we first moved here 3 years ago now. That I've kept alive, just bring it in and put it inside of a grow tent in the winter. And I've only ever been able to eat a pepper off it in the winter. Cause as soon as it's outside, they come and they eat the peppers right off of it.
We had friends in California with a hoop house in their yard. And they had their peppers in a half a barrel. And every October, just picked them up and wheeled them inside and kept them in the hoop house.
Yeah. A lot of people don't realize that, you know, that's not a, what it would be, a perennial.
Oh, yeah.
Not
this area, but
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, in this area, you have to take it inside,
Right.
but
It's like basil, all your Mediterranean stuff.
I mean, yeah, with the right.
I'm sure it tastes better with age, I haven't been able to.
And
I like.
Have to ask the deer for that.
The guy sets out those little hot peppers in a bowl and the squirrel comes over to eat. Too hot.
I bought it downtown last week, they've got their stuffed jalapeno poppers, and I bit into one, it was fire.
What? Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, you gotta grow up with that stuff.
Russian
I mean, they weren't all like that, I just got the really hot one.
One of the little tiny ones, I used to work with a bunch of Vietnamese folks. And I had those itty bitty red alien blood peppers. Oh,
I have a best friend, best man at our wedding. He's Mexican, and I swear to God, he could sit there and eat until he sweat.
Yeah.
The hot, and no problem. I just look at him and say, not happening.
My mom literally has a bowl of jalapenos with any meal on the side.
Wow.
You loves it.
Here you meet.
Are they not coming back?
It
They're
just
just
close
gonna come
the
back
meeting.
and just adjourn. And
Yeah.
Oh, done. I didn't realize that. I would.
I think all they're coming back to do is adjourn.
You were having a grounding conversation about here.
I was. They're gonna eat.
Next week you're on medicine.
Speaking of stuffed peppers.
There you go.
Just keeping it public interest.
so many dairy cheese.
You know, like,
One of these days, I'm gonna remember to stop in when we're actually open.
I was adjourning over here. He deboned
I
it,
just couldn't, like,
he laid it, he took out all, that was all.
Right, every time I work for Paulson, and every time I do come to town, they're closed. So,
No.
yeah, but see, when that happens, I don't even think about
Well, when you.
it. It's always when I come around that corner to go back, I'm like, oh, G-Shop, that's
Lido,
closed.
back on
Yeah.
the money.
But one day, y'all take me to
They have been fired from my phone.
I knew that. Windows 11 is totally different than what it is. Yeah.
So you have to support her out.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
That's why I've been.
half that shit in there is mine.
I'm also on 38 on the break.
Is it?
All that.
We've been.
Oh my God, there's nobody out here.
Unless they need to pop it.
Anybody out?
We wanted to see you adjourn.
Oh, no, you're good.
You're
good.
Yeah, okay, cool.
We had a really interesting conversation about annoying deer.
Oh, no,
out there.
it's.
Are we saying what?
Okay.
All of our.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did deposits.
We'll go back.
Hey,
Call the regular special meeting back to order.
Okay. All right, so
I guess
the
not special meeting.
conclusion of executive session. The only thing left will be, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion we adjourn.
I'll second that motion.
Moved by Eric and seconded by Kathy. All those in favor?
Aye.
You.
Opposed? All right, getting adjourned. I'm like,
Whenever there's a silence, just I.
I'm like, thank you.